हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक वंस अगेन टू आवर ऑनलाइन एजुकेशनल वीडियो। आज के इस वीडियो में हम बात करने वाले हैं ऑस्मोटिक डायूरेटिक्स के बारे में। जैसा कि आप लोग जानते हैं कि इससे पहले भी हम डायूरेटिक्स के अदर क्लासेस एक्सप्लेन कर चुके हैं, उसके बेस्ड हम वीडियोस तैयार कर चुके हैं। इससे पहले हम वीडियोस बना चुके हैं लूप डायूरेटिक्स के ऊपर, थायराइड डायूरेटिक्स के ऊपर और कार्बोनिक अनहाइड्रेज इनहिबिटर्स के ऊपर कि जो डायूरेटिक्स करके कैसे काम करते हैं। If you want to watch that video, you can simply click over the I button that is reflecting at the top of this video. So let us move towards the discussion of our today's topic, that is osmotic diuretics. So friends, what are these osmotic diuretics? Definitely the examples come in our mind. It is mannitol, glycerol, urea and isosorbate. These are the certain examples for the osmotic diuretics. Now the question is what are these exactly osmotic diuretics and how they are going to be act and how they differ from the other class of diuretics. So what is this one? I must say that these osmotic diuretics are the non-electrolytes and they possess one of the important property is what? They get freely filtered through the glomerulus but do not get reabsorbed from the renal tubules. जी हाँ, तो इनका एक मतलब ऐसा होता है कि डेफिनेटली वो ग्लोमेरुलस के थ्रू, ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेशन के थ्रू फ्रीली फिल्टर हो जाते हैं एंड वंस दे एंटर इनटू द रीनल ट्यूबल्स दे डू नॉट गेट रीअब्जॉर्ब बैक इनटू द ब्लड सर्कुलेशन। मीन्स इसका मतलब ये एक भी होता है कि मीन्स ये अगर ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेशन फॉलो कर देते हैं सो रीनल ट्यूबुलर रीअब्जॉर्प्शन इनका होगा नहीं। सो वॉट एवर द ऑस्मोटिक डायूरेटिक्स कम into the renal tubules through the process of glomerular filtration, they will get excreted through the urinary system, correct? So these are nothing but what? Our osmotic diuretics. Okay, now let us understand how does exactly these osmotic diuretics acts. So the name itself indicate it is the osmotic diuretics, means what? They act according to the differences in the osmotic pressure. So where does these differences exactly occur and that lead to its effect as a osmotic diuretics? So definitely before understanding the mechanism of action of osmotic diuretics, we must understand the mechanism of renal tubular reabsorption. Now somewhere we are familiar with the renal tubular reabsorption, correct? Somewhere while studying the physiology of urine formation, many times we have gone through the renal tubular reabsorption. What exactly takes place during the renal tubular reabsorption? That is nothing but what? The transfer of substances from renal tubules into the blood circulation. Definitely the substances are going to move. Substances जो renal tubules में है, whatever that is considered as vital for our body and their loss is not affordable for our body. So these substances from the renal tubules get back enter into the they get back enter into the blood vessels. तो वो blood vessels में वापस आ जाएंगे कहाँ से? renal tubules से. So what is the exactly driving force is here? कि renal tubular reabsorption होने के लिए exactly driving force क्या है? तो ज़रा बात करते हैं। तो ये जो ड्राइविंग फोर्स होता है ये होता है ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर। डेफिनेटली जब हम ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर के बारे में बात करेंगे, ब्लड का ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर और द ट्यूबुलर फ्लूइड का ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर, एट दैट टाइम we came to know that the osmotic pressure of the blood is always greater than that of the osmotic pressure of renal tubules. So what it may be, we are showing the videos you related to the how exactly renal tubular reabsorption takes place. So I have shown the renal tubules or the tubular fluid with a yellow color cylinder and the blood vessels with the red color cylinder. What you found within that one is what? The osmotic pressure of the blood is always higher, and just because of the differences in the osmotic pressure, the fluid from the renal tubules moves back into the blood vessel. So that ultimately results into increase in the reabsorption of water and the blood volume simultaneously get increased. What is this one? Blood volume gets increased. Now the question will be there, what is this exactly osmotic pressure, correct? So osmotic pressure is just because of the presence of solute in a solution as compared to the solvent. Means higher the content of solute present in a solution as compared to the solvent, it can be said that it is having the greater osmotic pressure. और हम जब ब्लड के बारे में बात करते हैं तो ब्लड का ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर ज़्यादा है एज कम्पेयर टू द ट्यूबुलर फ्लूइड। और ब्लड में ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर ज़्यादा होने का रीज़न ये है कि इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ द लार्ज नंबर ऑफ सॉल्यूट्स दैट नेवर एंटर्स इनटू द ट्यूबुलर फ्लूइड। तो ट्यूबुलर फ्लूइड में कौन नहीं आता है, तो डेफिनेटली नहीं आता है, तो प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स नहीं आते हैं। सो जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ लार्ज नंबर ऑफ प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स विद इन द ब्लड, द ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर ऑफ द ब्लड इज ऑलवेज हायर. So is that only the plasma proteins present in the blood? Number of factors, number of solutes are also present within the blood, but what did make a difference from the tubular fluid? It is nothing but the plasma proteins. और ये plasma proteins ही होते हैं जो tubular fluid में present नहीं है और blood vessels में blood में present है. That makes the differences in the osmotic pressure of blood vessels and the tubular fluid. And exactly it results into the movement of water molecules, the movement of or the diffusion of water molecule. Yes, it is the diffusion of water molecules from the area of lower osmotic pressure towards the area of higher osmotic pressure, so that the osmotic pressure of the blood can get decreased. Correct. So exactly this takes place during the tubular reabsorption, and during the tubular reabsorption the driving force is nothing but what we said, the differences in the osmotic pressure. We said that the osmotic pressure of the blood is quite higher than that of the tubular fluid. So what happens exactly when the osmotic diuretics are given? अब ऐसा क्या हो जाता है कि जब osmotic diuretics दिया जाता है, तो osmotic diuretics के बारे में हम पहले ही बात कर चुके हैं कि they are freely filtered through the glomerulus. मीन्स वो glomerulus में आ जाते हैं, आ जाने के बाद they do not get reabsorb back into the blood circulation. और ये osmotic diuretics, और यही रीज़न है कि osmotic diuretics tubular fluid में आने के बाद it results into the increase in the osmotic pressure of tubular fluid. And it has been said that they make the tubular fluid isoosmotic. They make the tubular fluid isoosmotic with the blood. And it is the reason for what now whatever the tubular reabsorption was taking place in the absence of osmotic diuretics, now this tubular reabsorption related to water and another cations doesn't take place. So it results into retention of water within the tubular fluid. So tubular fluid में water retain होगा, और water अगर tubular fluid में retain होता है, so that may be the part of the urine. So वो urine का part करके बाहर निकल जाएगा. Means what? Definitely it results into increase in your urinary volume. So what is this one? What are the examples are there? Mannitol, or the second one we said the urea, isosorbide, glycerol. These are the osmotic diuretics using the similar mechanism of action. So friends, now we got introduced to the mechanism of action of osmotic diuretics. Now let us study one of the prototype drug of osmotic diuretics, and it is nothing but what? The mannitol. So what is this mannitol? So it is a non-electrolyte. As we said earlier, all the osmotic diuretics are the non-electrolytes. So this is having a molecular weight around the 182, and it is generally administered intravenously, and due to the administration of this mannitol, it results into excretion of all cations and anions, including sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, chloride, bicarbonates and the phosphate anions. And it results into what? Expansion in the extracellular fluid ions. So what should be their therapeutic uses, and how these osmotic diuretics mannitol should be used? So these are having the certain therapeutic uses related to the mannitol. So very first one is what? To maintain the glomerular filtration rate, and urine to increase the urinary output, that is being their function as a osmotic diuretics. They are also used in case of what? Reducing the intraocular pressure. Reducing the intraocular pressure and the vitreous volume prior to the ocular surgery. They are also used to reduce the intracranial pressure when the cases of cerebral edema or the cerebral stroke. And it also these drugs are also going to be used to promote the excretion of toxic substances. So that's all, and thank you very much friends. I think this video must be useful for you, and if you like this video, do not forget to share and subscribe this video. Thank you very much.